Pancho Campo, Master of Wine and President of the Wine Academy of Spain.
And what are you doing in London at the moment, Pancho?
Well, London is always a nice place to come to visit. Apart from doing a little bit of shopping, we are working on the next edition of Wine Future, having some interviews, and also tomorrow I'm attending a Italy tasting organized by the Institute of Masters of Wine.
If you were to put together a conference tomorrow on the most important countries in terms of trends, in terms of development in the wine world, what would those be?
Countries and trends for the future. Well, definitely you have to think about Spain, because under the current economical scenario, Spain has become one of the most interesting countries because of the value for money that Spanish wines offer. In America, where the consumption continues to grow, people have gone down on the expenditure per bottle, and they're looking for value, and they found Spain, but also Chile. Chile has also become a very interesting country because it was perceived in America as a supermarket kind of wine, below $6.99. But because people have traded down, they found that Chile, suddenly is interesting because of the value that offers. If you think about the Asian market, Bordeaux is still the number one wine of interest for the Asian market. But I personally think that, not because I'm Spanish, because I travel the world and I study trends, I think Spain has a great opportunity. It's up to us to seize that opportunity.
Which regions in Spain do you think are going to be most important over the next 3 or 4 years?
Definitely Aragon, because Garnacha or Grenache is becoming one of the most trendy grape varieties. And the Garnacha coming from places like Campo de Borja is showing to have a great potential. It's like I said in one of the conferences, is the Penelope Cruz of the grape varieties, because it's sensual, it's sexy, it has always played a secondary role, but when Grenache has to be play the leading role, it can also play very well that role. Monastrell from Alicante, from Murcia, Jumilla, very interesting, producing wines that appeal to the new consumer, wines that are fruit driven, wines that are voluptuous, that have personality. We were always regarded as bad producers of white wines, but the new style of Verdejos, the Godellos from Valdeorras and from Galicia, also are regions and grape varieties that have great potential, and I think they will give us a lot of very pleasant surprises.
One of the problems facing the world's wine producers is that around the world, or particularly in Europe, people are drinking less wine per head per annum, and there are any number of statistics about this. How do you think that the media can persuade people to buy more wine and to drink more wine?
Well, I think it's crucial. I think the biggest problem we have, especially in Spain, the decrease in consumption, is because the wine critics, the wine professionals, the wine media has completely separated itself from the consumer, from the mass consumer. At a point, we've lost connection with the consumer. We forgot to use the language that they understand, and we got too much involved in our own wine language. I think internet is the future to communicate, but we don't have to get carried away with internet, because at the end of the day, the beauty of wine is to taste the product. And through internet, as far as I know today, you cannot taste the wine. But it's important to invite people to visit wineries, to attend tasting. It's a great way of communicating, and we have to, the entire wine industry has to acknowledge that. We have not had any success with television. I think it's
When you say we, who do you
wine
refer
industry.
to?
I think the wine industry has failed to succeed on TV.
Why is that?
Because you don't have characters. I come from the world of entertainment, that was my previous career, and sports, and you have real characters, and you have characters in gastronomy. You turn on the TV in Spain, and every single channel has 2 or 3 programs about gastronomy. In the UK, you have the Jamie Olivers, the Gordon Ramsays. We don't have that in wine. You need people with personality that can communicate, that can motivate people to get interested in wine. And something that we have emphasized too much. We don't need to educate the consumer. You can enjoy wine without having any knowledge of wine. However, if you learn a little bit, you will enjoy it much more. And that, I think, the message, has we have lost the message. That message is, you can enjoy wine without knowing anything about wine. You can party. In Spain, for example, you go to a nightclub, there's no wine. You can have fun, you can party with wine. It's much more healthier. Those are the elements that we have not used in our advantage to motivate the consumer. But I think television is crucial. Wine, until wine gets on mass media, which is TV, we are not gonna succeed in increasing consumption. And also, I see it in Spain. All the efforts are directed to the experts or to the trade, and we forget that the secret to success is motivating the people below the age of 30.